Oh, we're on. Okay. Hey, guys. This is Miss Wills.
And Miss Anderson.
If you didn't know her. So we're doing a video for you on your Early Man study guide that we gave you in class to get ready for your test on Thursday.
Mine has all the answers.
But she's not going to show you that because you got to find it. All right, so we're going to go over these questions with you and tell you a little bit more about them, and hopefully that'll help you study for your test. So question number 1 says, what are the characteristics of a nomadic hunter-gatherer society during the Paleolithic age? Well, do you remember that chart that we did that had Paleolithic, Mesolithic, and Neolithic? That would be a really good start to use for this one because it's talking about the hunter-gatherer society during the Paleolithic age. So the question that you would probably want to know would be, what did they eat? Where did they find their food? What was their food source? Why did they call them hunter-gatherers? Who was the hunter? Who was the gatherer?
What does it mean to be a nomad? The nomadic lifestyle, the Paleolithic age. What the whole concept of what's a nomad?
Absolutely.
What are they looking for? Remember when we were in the library and we were talking about 2 things? We said they had to do this and they had to do this. And what was it? They had to find, every day they had to find 2 things.
They had to have food.
They had to have food.
They had to have water.
They had to survive.
Yep, and food and water make you survive. So there you go. All right, Miss Anderson, you want to do 2?
All right, so the second one says, what kind of tools were used during the Paleolithic age versus compared to the Neolithic age? So what kind of tools were we using in the old Stone Age, the old Paleo age, versus the Neolithic, the new Stone Age? What were some cool discoveries that we found in the Neolithic age that we didn't find yet in the Paleo? Yep. So you need to compare those two things. What I would do if I were you is make a chart. Use your chart that you already have and just kind of say, okay, what did we have over here?
Let me grab one of those
And what did we have over there? One cool thing, I'm just going to throw this out here to you. There was one really cool thing that we had in the Neolithic age that we didn't have in the Paleolithic age. Metals. What kind of metals? My eyes look really crazy when I just did that.
It looks crazy all the time because you're drinking your green tea and honey.
Green tea is good for you.
Oh, there's a sticky note on it. Let me get that sticky note on. So this chart right here, where it had tools on it. See, Miss Anderson, she's showing you. So when you're talking about the tools in the Paleolithic, remember what the root word paleo means?
Old.
And meso?
Middle.
And neo?
New.
Yep. And what they also called the Mesolithic age sometimes was the late
Paleolithic.
Paleolithic. So, all right, so that's number 2. Number 3, why was the discovery of metallurgy so important? So you did a worksheet on this with us in class. It was this one right here that says metallurgy on the top. And we talked about what it was like to be a blacksmith, what it was like to make jewelry, what it was like to make weapons, what it was like to make tools. And so this question wants to know, why was that discovery of metal so very important? And what types of metal were first discovered? You learned in class that there were a couple of types of metal that were naturally occurring, and when they mixed those 2 together, they made an alloy, and it made that metal even stronger. So what was the first type of metal discovered? And then what kind of tools did they make? That's going to come from the Stone Ages chart again.
Yours looks a little different than ours. Is really short and truncated. Yours is bigger.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
Same thing. Yeah, same thing. Okay. All right, Miss Anderson.
What number are we on?
We're on 4. It comes after 3.
So this one?
That's 4. That's 5. We're on 4.
Well, your paper is different than mine. What are the direct results of the Ice Age for humans, and what did it lead to? So we talked about the Ice Age, and we talked about we'd made a big fancy map. Remember that map? You got it? We drew all over it, named all kinds of stuff. The continents and the oceans and all of that stuff, and we drew big lines all over it. So those big lines were talking about where all these humans were moving around to. So what happened that caused these people to want to have to move around? And it was the Ice Age, right? So I think
that.
Yeah.
We did that in class.
So what did all this movement and this great migration lead to for mankind? What did it lead us to? Uh-oh, somebody's coming in.
Hang on. We got to pause. Hang on. We got to pause. Where's the mouse?
Oh, no.